Upgrades.
What's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen? Here to talk about Hell's Paradise, episode 7. Now, coming off the last episode, we knew for a fact it was about to get really interesting because the two brothers happened to come across what looked to be humans. It just happened to be that they were sharing a fruit, literally sharing the juices of such fruit and kissing each other. And then they turned and looked with the most evil intent in the world. And we didn't know what was going to happen from that point. Now, I kind of gauged that, okay, this is not going to bode well for them. But I kind of was like, they're not any pushovers either. Like, they're not going to just sit there and be stupid about it. Like, if they get attacked, they're going to try to, limit at least their own deaths. But, dude, like, when we get an understanding of who those individuals are, that they're the hermits of this plane or this paradise, so to speak, and there's a village going on at the same time, the Gabimaru the Hollow and Suragiri are looking at, and everybody's finding the hermits at the same time. It's just you got one that's a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, whatever, that the two brothers find. And then there's a little girl, and I kid you not, a group. And from that point, like, it's kind of like you don't know where things are going to go. Now, I love the fact that the little girl doesn't speak. And like it just throws the Hollow off because he's like, I'm not going to kill this little girl, but at the same time, I'm not going to let us die. And he noticed how quick she was. He noticed she had abilities. And off break, like he blocked something that could have killed Suragiri. And so he was already agitated and trying to figure out what was going on. And then simultaneously, while that's going on, the two brothers are like engaging in an actual altercation with these hermits. And one of the hermits turns into a man and proceeds to decimate them. Matter of fact, like they put some really good blows on him initially, and he just grew all his limbs and everything back. So it was kind of like he is effectively an immortal. And so I'm assuming, my assumption is that the little girl, these two are immortals, and maybe they've drinking from the elixir of life. They kind of leave a lot up for interpretation, which I like. But at the same time, I don't know where this thread of the story is about to go. The only thing that I do know is that Gabby is not going to stop, regardless of what is the threat. But I think that this offset was fascinating because this little girl and this little group, even though he doesn't trust them, like they could be used as an ally source, and they were. But by the end of the episode, you can tell very quickly, like, okay, yeah, I'll help you to a fault, but like, and it's just death all over the place. I don't even know how to put it, because even like the other shinobi, she makes short work of Groot, and I don't really know. They never show what her capability is, but it looks like she secretes her sweat glands, possibly. I don't really know. I'm that's what I assumed. But they didn't actually show it, and I'm pretty sure they will show it later. Now, what was fascinating is watching the little girl and Suragiri like start to connect, and the little girl like finding comfort in her and trusting her. Um, and at the same exact time, like I think that Gabi was starting to change as well. Like he said, "I'm sorry." Like he kind of refined himself from the teachings of his wife. Now, this is what's interesting about this episode, which makes me question some things. The motivation is definitely there to get to Elixir to get back home, right? But I'm concerned for something he said at the end of this episode that his wife might not be alive anymore. He's using the memory of his wife to propel himself forward. I'm not saying that I know because I have not read the manga, but it was something that he said. And the way that he said it, I was like, man, what if she is gone? Or if she does go, like, what will that do to him? It's just because he's such a wild card. Um, it's weird. Like he is death incarnate. Like he is the most deadly character I've seen in a very long time. But some part of him is also wanting to do the right thing. He wants to do better. He wants to be better. Whether it's for the memory of his wife, because it's for his wife, like he wants to be living embodiment of an example of doing the right thing. And that's the reason why his relationship with Sergiri works so well. And it's kind of like even watching him and her like work with the little girl, like it was kind of like they're kind of parentals, you know. It was just interesting. The Groot creature, I was like, I don't trust him. I said that off rip. That I did not trust him. But I thought it was a really good episode. It like added a whole bunch of mystery. And also I'm concerned for the brothers because I don't know what happens after this. And it's just the deeper and deeper they go, the more you can see where they can find what they need. But is more and more dangerous. I think that one samurai made a perfect analogy is that as you're putting more and more dangerous things in one, like what comes out is going to become so much more deadly and stronger and refined. Um, Now I did find it fascinating when the little girl found understanding of how to deal with the currents, because what that did was it showed me, oh, okay, somebody needs to be able to be the navigator to get everybody out. Somebody needs to be the muscle and the point person, and then somebody also needs to do reconnaissance and understand what's going on, which is where the little the shinobi girl and the samurai make sense because they're the information broker, so to speak. But yeah, this is another decent episode. I'm just intrigued to see what happens next, and yeah. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace, people. Boo, boo, boo. Falling off the top of